will require separation. Generally, anything that we want to do in life, any transition we want to make, it comes from us, from the exchange of us letting go of the old for the new. So if we want to move to a new place in life, we want to accomplish new things in life, we let go of the old and exchange them for the new. So if we want to manifest anything in our life, we have to let go of old habits in order to manifest new realities. We have to let go of old beliefs in order to manifest new possibilities. So when it comes to our spiritual elevation, we have to be willing to let go of the things that keep us spiritually stagnant. The things that we distract ourselves with when we could be reading and learning and growing, or adding some type of information and knowledge to ourselves in order to edify ourselves. We have to let go of old habits that do not serve us, like being lazy, like not doing anything productive with our idle time. We have to let go of people, places, and things that do not serve the energetic vibration that we are trying to operate in, that do not serve the place that we are trying to grow to, that do not serve in elevating us and edifying us and enriching our mind. We have to let those things go, because for as long as our glass is full of the old and of things that do not serve us, we cannot receive the new. We cannot download the new. We cannot program ourselves with the new. The key to changing our life is changing our mind. And in order to change our life and to change our mind, we have to renew it. So a lot of us are trying to figure out, why does life seem to be against us? Why is life so tough? Why do I always get the short end of the stick? That's not necessarily the case. What's really happening is that we are not operating from a perspective of transformation. And a perspective of transformation is exchanging the continual exchanging of the old for the new. And to live in that continuous cycle of growth, it requires humility. So first, we have to be willing to accept and acknowledge that we are going the wrong way, that we are causing our reality. We have to first take accountability for our current circumstance. Now, we don't control everything that happens to us in life, but we do control how we respond, and we have to be willing to accept and take ownership of all of the time that we spend not responding to our challenges correctly. And we have to be willing to accept that first before we can actually take a different course of action. So the secret to elevating spiritually, we have to be willing to outgrow the people, places, things, habits, mindsets, and beliefs that do not take us to where we want to go. Now, people may have been on our old flight, a certain mindset, certain habits, certain belief may have been on our first flight, I should say, but that doesn't mean that they're meant to go to our final destination. It's starting to rain right now, so I'm going to cut this video short, but the secret to your spiritual elevation is separation.
Shalom. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Waharakakadash. Belongs to our elders, those of the authority and the spirit that are retaining it and remaining in it. In citation election, the real house of David, that is playing this new song that only the elect can sing, only the chosen, those that have been separated and set apart for this peculiar, special, and very, very important ministry and work. You see, this is what we profess to be, and this is what we give most of our attention and time and lives unto. See, we sacrifice. We're laying down our life for this, and this sacrifice and this separation comes with a cost. It's going to cost your time. You being alone a lot. And really, we're not alone. The Lord's with us. You see, but in the eyes of carnal men, they look at us like a insignificant and irrelevant, and like we have nobody. You see, but the nobodies, we actually have the Lord. You see, we're somebody to the Lord. Proverbs 19:4, wealth maketh. Verse 3, it says, the foolishness of man perverteth his way. So the foolish virgins, they're perverting the gospel, and they're not in the way of the Lord. And it doesn't matter what camp you may be in. And this is what's coming down to. And we're definitely in the day of the Lord. Like you see the floods in Europe. There's now floods in Australia, killing people. They're saying thousands missing. No, the Lord's killing the thousands. Just like that tower that dropped in Miami. They said only 27 people died or something like that. But then you have hundreds people missing. See, yeah, they're missing their life. A lot of people are not alive because we're in the time of the Lord, the slain of the Lord being many. And with all the uprising of the people against the governments, we know very well we're at the end. You know, the second Ezra's book, where it says there should be uproars of the people, then shall you know that it is very well that it is the last time. You see, it says Proverbs 19:3, in his heart fretteth against the Lord. Wealth maketh many friends. So when you sell out, when you have money, when you have clout, when you have social media fame, you could have many friends because everyone is going to want to get something out of you because you have so much. You see, and that's the only reason why a lot of people are friends. Like the Joker said, I know your friends better than you do. You want to know which one of them are cowards? And a lot of people are cowards. They're only your friend if you're up. But see, if you're down and out, then they hide themselves from you. And see, we're down and out. We're where Yahweh Shai. We're out of this society. We're out of this world. And that's why a lot of guys in the truth, they hide their face from us as well. It says, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. You see? So we've been separated for a huge cause. Like when you look at the superhero movies, they're always separated. They're always put into the dark. You see? If false witnesses shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. So all you guys that are being devilish and not speaking the truth and only the truth, but you're coming with all these lies. And in order to be against the truth and speak all these lies, you have to know the truth, not say the truth. And that's what we see with a lot of guys. They're devilish with his word. And as of late, it's just been cloudy, gloomy. You know, today, right now, is rain and thunder and lightning. That's the Lord showing you that he is very close, and he is in the midst, and he is very angry, man. Luke 6:20, and lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. So you few brothers that have been separated from the pack, look at the story of Joseph. Look at the story of the disciples, Yahweh Shai, you know, the apostles, Jephthah, the judges. They was all separated, set apart to do special things, because we're a special nation under God, the elect primarily, because that's what the Lord's dealing with right now. It says, now let's get that word for poor. Now, yeah, we're going to be taken care of. The Lord's going to give us, you know, the things we need. He's going to bless us. But this word poor, right, basically goes into being lowly, a low position, a low influence, destitute of wealth. So we're not going to have, you know, this world, you know. It says destitute of wealth, of learning, and intellectual culture, which the schools afford. Men of this class most readily give themselves up to Yahushua's teaching and prove themselves fitted to lay hold of the heavenly treasure. Let me read that again because that's heavy. These men, right, which were poor, they're not of this world, and they're more willing to give up everything that they have for Lord, because they don't have a lot. So what else do we have to lose? So let me read that definition again. It says, destitute of wealth, of learning, and intellectual culture, which the schools afford, like colleges, like the wisdom of this world. We have to get in debt and pay all this crazy money just to get a degree to say you know something. But the wisdom of this world is foolishness. Now here's the point. It says, men of this class most readily give themselves up to Yahushua's teaching and prove themselves fitted to lay hold of the heavenly treasure. You see, and the Lord said, prove all things. So we're being proven and we're being found correct. And not everyone has Yahushua's teachings. That's the doctrine. Amos 4:1. Hear this word, ye kind of Bashan, that are in the mountain of Samaria, which oppress the poor. So they'll persecute those that have been separated unto the Lord. You see? Of our own nation. They persecute the righteous. Those are in Yahushua, the Lord's disciples. It says, which crush the needy, which say to their masters, bring and let us drink. Basically give that which is holy unto the dogs. So that's why they say, which say to their masters, because they call Korah and other men in the flesh masters, which Yahushua didn't say that. That's not part of Yahushua's teaching. Bring and let us drink. Says, the Lord God has sworn by his holiness that, lo, the day shall come upon you, that he will take you away with hooks, and your posterity with fish hooks. So the Lord said to his disciples that what? Ye are fishers of men. Not just the good, but also of the bad. So the Lord's using us as bait to catch, right? We're stumbling, we're also rocks of offense as Yahushua, and we're catching guys. We're catching good and bad. You see? Finding men out. Finding things out as the candles of the Lord. Psalms 22 and verse 12. Many bulls have compassed me, strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round. They gap upon me with their mouths as a ravening and a roaring lion. You see? So a lot of men, right? But the bulls of Bashan, right? The strong and the flesh, they're set about us round about. They're not with us. See, we're like that phalanx of the 300. We're that last garrison of Yahushua, and they're all around us. They're against the truth. They're against Yahushua, man. They're enemies of the cross. Many men. You see? That 50 Cent song, yeah. Jeremiah 50 and 27 says, slay all her bullocks. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them. Just like it's woe to the Pharisees and scribes. It's woe unto these bullocks and these beasts. It says, woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. So the Lord, he's bringing the vengeance of his temple, which the temple is the elect. Lively stones, not the filthy stones. Psalms 12 and 5 says, for the oppression of the poor, you see the persecution of the poor, the persecution of the saints, all those that will live godly in Yahushua shall suffer persecution. It says, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith Yahweh. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. And the Lord said that knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. So those that are puffing at the righteous, they're puffed up with knowledge and what they know, what they think they know. And the Lord said in Corinthians, if a man thinketh that he knows something when he ought to know, he knoweth nothing at all. You see? Job 20 and verse matter of fact, before I go there, let me go to Deuteronomy 32. And that's why the Lord said it's very rare for a rich man to enter the kingdom, because they're not willing to lay down their life and lay down and leave off everything of this world. You see? And that's what's going to happen to a lot of guys, even in this truth. Like, they have too much possessions and too much abundance here. They've sold out. That's why these things are hard for them to understand or comprehend. You see? And the Lord said, it's not what man has in their possessions that. Matter of fact, let me get that precept in Luke. So it's not about your subscribers and likes and how much things you have and how much money you have. That the Lord doesn't care about that. See, carnal men, that's all they care, and that's all they talk about. You know, how much they get paid, how much they bought their house, how much they get paid for rent, how much the car, you know what I'm saying? That's all they know. But when it comes to the spirit and of the word, they look at that, they think of that as foolish. See, and that's what's happening. The Lord's saving those by the foolishness of preaching, true prophesying. Luke 12:15, and he said unto them, yeah, man, the lightning has been, the Lord's lighting up the sky right now. It says, and he said unto them, take, you see, so I don't know if y'all can hear it in the background, but, you know, there's thunder going on and there's car alarms going off, you see. So Lord, he's not only speaking through his few men, the few chosen, he's also speaking through the elements and the weather. Says, and he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. You see, so Lord said, man shall not live off bread alone. And you can't be a servant of manna and of the Lord. You see, and a lot of guys, they're in the middle, they're in the crosshairs, they're in the gray area. You see. See, and that ain't gonna cut it. Deuteronomy 32 in verse 8, it says, when the Most High, matter of fact, let me start verse 7 to make a point. All right, verse 5 says, they have corrupted themselves, their spot is not the spot of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Do ye thus requite the Lord, O foolish people and unwise? Is not he thy father that hath brought thee? Hath he not made thee and established thee? Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. And, you know, sad part about this truth is that a lot of guys that have been this truth for a long time and actually worked against them. You know, we've been doing sit downs on the elders. That word elder goes into authority, those that have authority. So those that are in the spirit, right, and the Lord whom the Lord had truly written unto, right, I written unto you fathers, I written unto you young men. They're the ones who's going to tell you the whole world. They're going to tell you the truth. Matthew 23, number 16, the righteous separation, that you have to separate yourselves from the men of the congregation, lest you be swallowed up whole with them. So then the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance when he separated the sons of Adam. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. And all Israel is not of Israel. You see? Hosea 4:14, it says, I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouse when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore the people that doth not understand shall fall. You see, an evil man don't understand judgment, and that's why we're in a time of Babylon the Great's fall and the fall of many. You see, the fall of many that were called but wasn't chosen of the Lord. Job 20 and verse, and when you go to also the law, the Lord said the reason we were separated was what? To inherit the land. And now we're being separated now to inherit the kingdom of heaven, eternal life. So this is way more monumental and way heavier than back then. You know, we're going to inherit the earth, the kingdom, eternal life. In the Lord's house is many mansions. All right, Exodus 33 and verse 13, it says, yeah, 13. It says, now therefore I pray thee, this is Moses to the Lord, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people. And he said, my presence shall go with thee. You see, so Lord, he's making his presence known right now, warriors. And I will give thee rest. And he said unto him, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not that in that thou goest with us, so shall we be separated, and I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth? And the Lord said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken. So see, what the Lord does, he actually does what the prophets say. See, they're one and the same. Same in thought, same in emotion, same in thought process, same in, in the will. It says, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. Whew. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Yahweh before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. So it's all about who the Lord is, and who the Lord is commanded and showing mercy on. You see? But those that are not separating themselves, they're not going to inherit the kingdom. Job 20 and verse 17, he shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall his restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. So the only ones that's rejoicing right now is the holy apostles and prophets. It says, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. And the Lord said, since John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. So they're not building the house of David, they're taking by violence, by murder. You see? Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save of that which he desired. Verse 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in straits, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So, not just going into Esau, but y'all also going into the false prophets, and the two-thirds of our people. Exodus 22 and 21, thou shalt neither vex a stranger, nor oppress him, for we were strangers in the land of Egypt. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cried all unto me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with a sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. And this is what the Lord is doing. He's going to slay all the sinners by the sword. All the sinners of our people shall die by the sword, because they've forsaken the righteous, they forsaken the way. Ultimately, they forsook the Lord. Sirach 7 and 30. Psalm 29. Fear the Lord with all thy soul, and reverence his priests. See, respect those that are actually sacrificing all they have for the Lord, putting their life on the line. It says, love him that made thee with all thy strength, and forsake not his ministers. You see? And let me also get this precept as well. Number 16 and verse 9. Matter of fact, 8. It says, and Moses said unto Korah, hear I pray you, ye sons of Levi. But see, they wouldn't listen. Same thing now. seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel. So they thought it a small thing. They needed more than that. They wasn't happy with that. You see, being a small sanctuary. They needed something bigger, and that's where they messed up at. Same thing now. They needed the thousands of subscribers. It says that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. See? And they were gathering themselves against the Lord and murmuring against Moses and Aaron. Same thing now. Matter of fact, let me get that definition of murmur. Because that's what's happening right now. They're murmuring. Right, is a soft. So guys, they're coming smooth. They're soft. Indistinct sound. See, and guys are coming against us indistinctly, and they're coming against us sideways, like a serpent, crookedly, not straight, because they're not on the straight gate, man. It says, indistinct sound made by a person or a group of people speaking quietly or at a distance. It also goes into a rumor, a low continuous sound. Yeah, here's right here. It says, murmur against, express one's discontent about someone or something in a subdued manner. And that's what they do. They speak behind the wall and the door. Ezekiel 33:30, and also thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, come, I pray, and hear what is the word that cometh from the Lord. And they come unto thee as thy people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. And that's why Lord said that parable about those that hear the word but don't do it shall be a foolish man, are not wise. And that's what guys are. It says, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. Whew. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. So they want what the heathens have, what people of the world have. See? For they hear thy words, but they do them not. That's right. 33, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, and now it's happening. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. You see? Hosea 9:10 says, I found Israel like grapes in the wilderness. I saw your fathers as the first ripe in the fig tree at her first time. But they went to Baal Peor and separated themselves unto that shame, and their abominations were according as they loved. You see? You see? So, same thing happening now, you know. The Lord, he saw our fathers, right? The first right at the first time, but they went to Baal Peor. They went to the gap. You see? They started serving two masters. They went to the middle. You see? And that's why in the last days, a lot of guys are ashamed of the Lord and the gospel and his men. Isaiah 56:1, thus saith the Lord, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. So don't say that, oh man, woe is me. No, it ain't woe is us. It's blessed are us, man. We're poor and we're separated. The Lord said, blessed are you when men shall separate you from them. You see? We're blessed, brothers. Hosea 4. And 7, as they were increased so they sinned against me. So when guys, they increase and they get more and more and more possession and more abundance and clout here, they sin against the Lord. You see, you can't be a billionaire or something and think you're gonna be a man of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or like, there comes a point where you just can't do both things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can only do one. You know, you can't be a janitor and be poor and, you know, being oppressed and be a freaking CEO at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't, this is an oxymoron. It's a hypocrite. It says, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. So, Lord, he's changing a lot of men's glory into shame. It says, they eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people, like priests, and I'll punish them for their ways and reward them from their doings. For they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. And that's what's happened. A lot of hearts have been diminished. And guys don't have the mind or the spirit of the Lord any longer, because of the whoredom, the wine of the fornication, and the drunkenness of this world, and the seduction and the seducing, the spells and witchcraft of this place. All praise, glory, honor, fear, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Wahabakakadash, and shalom to you poor, and you meek, for you shall inherit the earth.